Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man Rock Force LPA. In this episode, we'll be going further into Justice Man's fortress. More specifically, we'll be heading into the fortress's second stage, which is the domain of Polar Man. Yeah, as the name suggests, this is the game's ice level. The music present here is Kevin Stage 35, which I think it's the oldest of Kevin's public domain songs present in the game. I like it, though I think I recall it having an intro, and said intro was probably one of my favorite parts of the song, so I'm a little disappointed it's not here. Oh well. Right away, we are accosted by a brand new enemy type. This is igloos. It's an igloo, and it shoots destructible ice blocks at you that will slide along the ground with impunity. Only pits and being thrown off screen will get rid of them. Besides you blowing them up, of course. I got to admit, I do kind of like how igloo works. The first one serves decently well to introduce it. The second one a little more dangerous due to having less room to fight it. And then that third one, right here, all but forces you to learn that you can shoot the ice blocks just fine. Also, I didn't mention them at the time, but Dapper Mets are back. Glee. Such glee. And here, I'm going to take a moment to teach you about Igloo's one big weakness. It has a shot limit. And I'm slippy slidey right now. Yes, actual ice physics are present in this level. Joy. Actually, what am I saying? As far as ice levels go, this one is actually really tame. Also, that one-up I totally skipped was a trap. So don't go for it unless you have Charade Clone. And that was kind of funny. The igloo fired backwards. That was because it fired, like, at the exact same like a split second before it actually turned around. So it fired, but just before it turned. That there was this Christmas elf robber robot, which for all intents and purposes is basically the Jones robots from Cryptman stage. Wow, Cryptman stage. That feels like forever ago. It really does too. This project has been a long one, but a fun one. Hard to believe nearing the end. If you want that health, use Rush Coil. I don't think it's possible to get it without it. And that snowman there was Snowgo, Frosty's ill-tempered little cousin. Snowgo, when you blow it up, its 3 pieces will fly at you. Good thing there was this wall here for this first one, so there was no way for it to actually fly at us. Unless we were doing something stupid, or playing as a Rock Force member that can't shoot through walls. Also, snow. Much like in Cossack Stage 1, walking through this slows you down. The second Snowgo is more than happy to start throwing its broom at us. As you can see, it is a lot more relentless and aggressive with its broom than the entertainers are with its cane. Entertainer canes were already annoying enough. Snowgo was probably one of the most dangerous enemies in the game, combining the Love Me Not spread and the entertainer's cane, and then upgrading both of them. It's kind of interesting, that. I do quite like the enemy. And a little bit of health, and Fireman clearing a path for us. And in the process of trying to race him down, I missed the E-Tank. Oh well. And oh, hi there! Because this is not hard mode, we don't have any experience with this type of enemy yet. These are, tackle flakes. Be cautious when you shoot them. They will break. And when they break, they launch that spread shot of 6 smaller shots that kind of hurt, and can kill you if you are not careful. This is definitely a level where you need to be this is definitely a room where you need to be a lot more careful with how you move, because you really never know when a tackle flake's gonna pop up and hit you in the face, or if it's gonna get in your way. They are very, very dangerous, those things. That's not water there. I've checked. It has no actual water physics. That cloud thing, however, that was Chilbert, an enemy type that breathes this ice breath down onto that not water surface and creates these ice blocks that you can pass by. Why did I say enemy type? Chilbert can, in fact, hurt you. Running into his ice breath or into him will damage you. So despite how helpful he is, for all intents and purposes, still an enemy type. Fortunately, you cannot actually kill him, so you won't accidentally screw yourself over here. And that was Polar Man's stage. Like I said, it's the ice level, and with snow to boot. It's generally a level that relies on wreaking havoc on your ability to move, whether it be increasing or decreasing your traction to the point that you need to be more careful about how you move, slowing your movement down, or placing tackle flakes in your way to force you to wait until it is safe to go past. It's an interesting theme choice. I certainly don't mind it. That being said, though, Polar Man's stage, while it definitely succeeds at being a Robot Master stage, it's fairly easy. Most of the other stages that we've already encountered are more difficult than this one. This is undoubtedly the easiest of the Fortress stages. Great Robot Master stage. Don't get me wrong there, but as a Fortress stage, I think it could be a little tougher. A little. Don't take that suggestion though, because ice levels are nasty. That, and while his level might be simple enough, Polar Man is a Fortress boss, so do not take him lightly. In his first phase, he is riding on the sentient Zamboni vehicle known as Zambonis. In order to damage it, you have to jump on these ice blocks and shoot it in the face with a buster. However, it does take extra damage from regular shots, meaning you don't actually have to charge the buster or use his weakness in order to get this fight done in a timely manner. In fact, because he takes extra damage from the regular buster, he ends up, ironically, being technically weak to Rush Coil, as Rush Coil allows you to bypass the ice block trick, and just focus on shooting Zambonis in the face. As you've probably noticed by now, Zambonis has 3 attacks. The first one are the ice blocks that slide along the floor that you can stand on. The second one are the tackle flakes that it shoots from its back. The third are the snowballs. The snowballs and the tackle flakes definitely being far more dangerous. Fortunately, Zambonis doesn't actually have a hurt box to it. So, if you're so inclined to take advantage of that, feel free. The other thing to note is that it does attack at a set interval. It will only attack, generally, at a set interval, generally when it stops moving. Polar Man himself is no slouch, commanding a number of impressive abilities, maybe not so much involving ice, but involving splitting his body into pieces. If his head spins around like that, he's going to launch an ice wave at you. Ice waves to both sides. You can jump it, but I find it's easier to slide beneath it. And you can also launch his head at you, or launch his body, or rather his legs. If he splits, his head is his weak point. Do not waste your time firing at the legs, it will do you no good. Originally, his head was invincible when he launched it to bounce around, and that was a pain. Fortunately, that's no longer the case, so while difficult, Polar Man is a pretty fun fight. I do quite like him. Though I will admit, my most favorite trait of Polar Man's. Take a look at his little face icon down there for a moment. And do you notice anything off about it? Anything unusual? If you answered he has 4 eyes, then congratulations, you're paying attention. Polar Man has 4 eyes instead of the usual 2. And in fact, if you flipped his head upside down, it really doesn't look that different from the original. Like, it doesn't look that different. Like, the worst that happens is that his arms are upside down. Then, I imagine he would still be able to function like that. I actually really like that, as it references the North and South Poles, some of the coldest places on the planet if I recall, and possibly even a reference to polar coordinates on a graph. So, that small little detail right there shows me that this isn't just generic ice robot number 300-4190. No, Polar Man was designed around his name. The name Polar Man was not chosen willy-nilly. It was deliberate. It was done with reason, with cause. I love that. Kudos for that. That is amazing. That is a dedication to Robot Master Design right there, and I appreciate that. And really, it's a shame that Polar Man's name is never mentioned in game, if only because of the fact that it just makes that design so not obvious. And with that, we only have 1 stage left in the entire game. So, on that note, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the episode, as well as Polar Man's stage. And I shall be seeing you for the next one. For the final episode, no less. Wow. Hard to believe, eh? But, until then, thank you all so much for watching. And I shall see you for the next episode, which, I will mention now, it will be split into at least 3 parts. We'll probably have more so I can get in a few bonus pieces. Anyway, until then, goodbye!